So, first about leader and tippet. So the tippet, thinner one, it's the better because it's more flexible and it will allow fly to move freely. The thinner one. Okay, so thinner one better for wiggling in the current, but if you use very big fly, you have to compensate, so you can use a thicker one. But I like it very long, so it's like this length and a little bit more. So why I use so long tippet is because the leader doesn't have power to straighten everything out. So leader is around 9 feet, 4x at the tip. I make it shorter like this, so it's maybe 8 feet. So if I used, for example, 9 feet leader with 6x, when you get it short, it becomes very short, so it's not enough. So you use 9 feet 4x, and it's long. So the longer the leader and tippet, the more wiggles you will have on the water. So, for example, like this, you try to cast, even if you want to make it straight, it will go like a snake. So there is some time the water will take it away from you and it will float like naturally. It's not easy to cast. It's more difficult than with shorter leader because energy transfer is not as good. But that's what I want. So now how to create more slack in everything. Sometimes when the water is broken like this, you need more slack. So you can go with a very high stop and pull the rod down, so everything will collapse, line and the leader, and it will go very, very long way. It's like a pile cast, yeah. You can underpower everything and let it come close. You will see that the fly is very close to the end of the line. Yeah, the fish is biting, I know. So you can go like with underpower. It's good when you have a pocket. So you can just use like a roll cast. You don't let it, see? You don't let it straighten out like this. You don't let it go away. You go with a low stop. And everything will pile down with near your end of the line, like this. So there is a lot of time for the fly to go. Okay, so it's easier like to explain. Instead of aiming straight, like you want to extend your cast, just aim at the water, like this. Like aim your rod tip at the water and everything will collapse. That's good. And then the other one is very easy. Like a snake one. So you have snake one, pile, when it comes everything down, and then you have those aerial mends. So if you have like a current here, and the fish is rising in that slow water over there. Then, after the stop, you just move your rod like a C or V, like this. So you draw C with tip of your rod, or V if you want more sharp shape. Okay? So I will show you first and then you can explain, I think. So like this. After stop, so you make the stop and then you do this. And then you create that C in the line and your fly is drag free over there for some time, which is enough for fish to rise and eat. Most of these casts are not like accurate casts, especially in the wind. Because you don't lose power, you don't make tight loops, so it's not very easy to control it in the wind. Okay? So when you cast, after the stop, you just make that V, and it creates mend. And your fly is over there, free to fly, to float. Or you can go like this and create even more slack. Or like this. A pile. It's very easy if you use left hand. Just pull a little bit like this, and pull. It's very easy. And then this current doesn't affect the fly. But to set the hook, you need to know one thing. The more slack you have, more early and more strong. But at the end of the cast, when everything is almost straight, you set the hook like this. It's okay. So, it's very the roll cast with the pile at the end like this. See, the fly is very close to the end. It's very good for nymphing, because if you focus all the line at one spot, the nymph will go down like this. If you straighten out the leader, the nymph needs to cut through the water, and it's very slow. And you can make it faster. You can make sinking faster if you do this, like a pile, but so like this. See, everything is here. Yeah, everything collapses near the tip of the line. It's also good for the dry fly like this, because dry fly will stay there and go upstream. My line goes downstream and the dry fly goes upstream. So it's very good for trout, for any fish that goes in pockets. So the whole point about dry fly fishing is creating slack to make it float as long as possible. And reading water. The fish will be around here. Here. This edge, the other edge, the more far edge, here. Of course, you can catch fish in current. So, but mostly it's easier for you to focus on the near edge or the far edge. Okay. And one more thing. After you make a cast, after the fly lands and everything, you can do mending. Like here, this water is very slow, and this water over there is fast. So what one should do is like this. You make a cast, make it land there. Do downstream mend without affecting the fly. So just with your rod tip, like this. So that's more or less it about dry fly fishing. Just create slack and watch about currents. You have two currents, make more slack here and there. So you can do the wiggle cast all the way through. And extend your leader, like that's very important. Two main things. That's what I do. No need to, and you can fish very slow, very close to the fish, like here. You don't need to go far away. So that's more or less it, like this. I will just do one cast and then I could do nymphing. So just make it. See, I let my fly go down, and look at the orange part. It goes nicely. Instead of casting just straight, go down, follow with your rod a little bit down.